Welcome to yet another video of Acharya Nidana Academy. In this particular video, we are going to discuss the overall concept of health. And before going into the subject proper, we are going to have some of the basic concepts that we are going to learn as usual. So, first, if you know about the physics, chemistry, and biology, then each and every information can be learned with the deepest understanding if you know about Ayurveda fundamentals. That means from each and every corner you can able to relate it. Second point, practice the concept of minimalism. When you know about the practice the concept of minimalism, in the sense we need to take up one particular small topic, we have to learn from multiple angles. Let us look into the concept of dosha. We need to learn from the concept of Rachana Sharira, from the point of Kriya Sharira, from the point of technology, from the point of other aspects. We can able to, or the Roga Nidana pathology point of view, we can able to learn. If you know about it and if you able to relate it from these angles, we can have a deep dive understanding of this particular concept. Third major thing, whenever if you want to learn, so that is you need to know about the physiology, specifically in terms of Ayurveda learning. Our physiology learning has to be perfect. If you know about the physiology perfect, then learning Roga Nidana will be very easy. If you know about the Roga Nidana learning proper, then learning Kaya Chikitsa will be easy. So that means the extended physiological learning is nothing but Kaya Chikitsa. Roga Nidana, and extended Roga Nidana learning is nothing but Kaya Chikitsa. So when you think about Kriya Sharira is nothing but physiology, Roga Nidana is nothing but altered physiology, and Kaya Chikitsa is nothing but restoring the altered physiology. So that is what is considered to be the third major concept. Fourth major concept, that is whenever if you want to learn any of the new information, try to identify the patterns. So which will be helpful in the modification of pattern later, which may help in the creation of a new pattern itself. So what do you mean by pattern? Pattern means it is nothing but repeatedly occurring observations. Suppose if a person is consuming, for example, 300 ml of buttermilk or the curds, which may be having, let us assume, from the creation to the consumption, there may be having a 10 steps. So that means if you can able to identify these 10 steps, suppose if a person is following that, if a person is following all these 10 steps, that tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, if a person is consuming same, we can able to predict it that this may be going to get happen there. So whenever if a person consumes the curds which is having sour taste or having the salt or sometimes even having the chili, there may be a possibility of a increase of pitta dosha in the body. In that particular situation, what should be the pattern modification? Pattern modification should be stopping this particular consumption of a sour taste, the buttermilk or curds which is having sour taste or salt. The pattern creation should be the person has to consume either simple milk without adding sugar, etc., etc. So that may be the pattern creation, and which are considered to be the motto of this particular academy. No compromise will be done in dealing with Ayurveda fundamentals. Whenever if you want to learn, try to follow one particular mentor. So why one particular mentor? Whenever if you look into the nowadays, when you go into the present day social media, multiple informations are available. So that means if you follow all those informations, you will be moving in the multiple directions. That means you are going to keep the feet in the two boats or multiple boats. In that particular situation, it is certain that you cannot able to move in one direction. You will fall down in the from that particular place itself if it is not possible for you to move into one direction. Hence, the following one particular mentor is always ideal to know about his past thoughts, to know about his present thoughts, to know what might be his future thoughts. In that way, so try to follow one particular mentor. So the next information, that is, when you want to learn Ayurveda information, try to learn from the Ayurveda information itself. When you want to learn Western information, try to learn from the Western information pattern itself, and try to bridge these information at regular intervals. If you can able to relate these information at regular intervals, at that, then that may indicate that you are moving in the right direction. Then that is the last point as far as concept learning is concerned. So that is, we need to learn Ayurveda like learning a new language. That means most frequently used words we have to use first, and then you need to know use about less frequently used words, then less frequently used words. In that way you can able to learn the new language. In the same way Ayurveda can be learned, in the same way Roga Nidana and Vikriti Vijnana can be learned in the same way, or Ayurveda diagnostics can be learned in the same way. What are the things that are required when you think about the learning in this particular concepts as such? That means we need to have a deep dive learning desire from the MTFARD formula. Then we need to know about the ability. We need to have an ability to connect the dots between the two concepts, two different concepts. Try to bridge these from these concepts so that we can have a better understanding. Some of these physiological points, that is Sterling forces, sludged blood, and percentage of the blood in the blood vessels, that we need to know about it. For this you can have the my previous videos, you can go for it and you can have the better understanding from this particular point of view. Then next comes the health definition as per Sushruta. Sushruta says samadosha samagnischa samadhatu malakriyah prasannatmendriya manaha swastha ityabhidiyate. When you think about it, properly functioning dosha, properly functioning Agni, properly functioning Dhatu and Mala, then that is the properly functioning or the Prasanna or the Mana, Atma and Indriya. That is properly functioning Atma, Mana and Indriya. So that is considered to be health, or that person is considered to be healthy. So for this, swastha is having two different terminologies you need to know about. Sve swasthane sthitah or sve swaparimane sthitah. In the sense, sve swasthane sthitah, every constituent present in the body has to be present in their own sites. That is utmost important. Whenever if you are saying whenever if you are defining health or swastha as such, one more component that is being present. Not only it has to be in the right place, it has to be present in the right quantity. Then you can say the person is perfectly healthy. So in the sense, the person who is having adequate amount of body constituents, for example glucose, or for example lipids, or for example proteins, or creatinine, or the bilirubin, etc. These are the different components, constituents of the body, and that has to be present in its own place as well as in its own quantity. So that has to be present whenever if you say swastha as such, or when you want to say that particular person as swastha. Now when we look into the concept of health, so that means we have to learn it as an ecosystem. Whenever if you look into the knowledge as such, so that means this ecosystem as far as learning is concerned, that will be considered to be first and foremost the topmost among this particular concept of this ecosystem as knowledge. So that means having multiple knowledges as such. So that means technology, health, finance or relationships, skill buildings, business growth or career growth, etc. So these are some of the other aspects where we need to know about knowledge ecosystem. So that means it is little bit difficult if you consider a single person to have all these different components. in a single lifetime. Hence, so this is being further, we need to, that is as far as ecosystem is concerned, we are actually coming in the health ecosystem. And think about health ecosystem, which considered to be mainly concentrating upon maintaining the health of an individual, or the curing the disease in the diseased individual. So that is the prime aims of whatever may be the health specialty. Maybe it is Western medicine, or maybe it is Ayurveda, or maybe it is Unani, or maybe it is Siddha system of medicine, or maybe it is homeopathic system of medicine, or maybe it is naturopathy or yoga, or it may be either Chinese or Greek medicine, etc. All these, the main the what do you say that the main purpose of this is maintaining the health, or if at all if a person is suffering for any kind of the disease, curing the disease. So further, when you come to the little bit lower level, as far as health ecosystem is concerned, we are actually coming under Ayurveda ecosystem. Ayurveda ecosystem, when you consider Ayurveda learning is concerned, presently the higher authorities, the governing body has given the, what do you say that, the 4.5 years study curriculum, which is as having the associated with 1 year of internship. 4.5 years study curriculum is further having the 1.5 years of professional courses. In the first year professional courses, we are going to learn the fundamentals as well as health basics in terms of Ayurveda, which is being learned in either the Kriya Sharira, Rachana Sharira, and the Samhita Siddhanta, wherein Samhita Siddhanta actually deals with again the Samskrita, Padartha Vijnana, Ayurveda Itihasa, and even the Samhita proper, that is the Ayurveda treatises proper. Whereas in the second year, we are going to have the subjects of Roga Nidana, Shastra Vaishya Kalpana, and Agata Tantra, Dravya Guna Vijnana, then Swastha Vritta, and again Samhita Siddhanta. So these are considered to be mainly concentrating upon altered physiology. In the third year, we are going to learn the Kaya Chikitsa, Shalya Tantra, Shalakya Tantra, Kaumara Bhritya, Prasuti Tantra and Sri Roga, research methodology. That is we are going to learn. So that third year is basically concentrating upon the restoring the altered physiology. So in other words, first year professionally concentrating upon the learning the physiology. Second year is mainly concentrating upon learning the altered physiology and other streams which may help in the, what do you say that, the prevention of this altered physiology as such. Whereas in the third year, we are going to learn how to restore the altered physiology. So that is coming under the Ayurveda curriculum. Further, when you look into the one step lower to that, that is the Roga Nidana and Vikriti Vijnana ecosystem. So that means each and every subject itself is an ecosystem. So in that, so we are going to deal with Roga Nidana and Vikriti Vijnana, or otherwise Ayurveda diagnostics, as a ecosystem learning. So here this is being discussing about the dosha. This may have a discussion on Roga Marga concept. This may have a discussion on the examination of the patient, etc., or the history taking as per the Ayurveda fundamentals, plus applied aspects of Roga Nidana and Vikriti Vijnana. So applied aspects in the sense applying these principles with the eye of physics, chemistry and biology. So further, regarding the concept of health as such, what do you mean by concept of health? So as such, we have discussed it in the beginning. So this health concept is having 4 different dimensions: physical health, mental health, social health and spiritual health. When you think about it, the most of us are more concentrating upon physical health, and to a lesser extent mental health, but we are neglecting about other two aspects, that is social health as well as the spiritual health. When I think about, now we are going to discuss these in brief. When I think about physical health as such, so that means each and every human being or each and every living being itself, they are having different body systems. So well, let us consider the human beings. They are having 11 or 12 different systems that may be functioning coherently in a way that the person may have an maintenance of health. Let us take for the example digestive system, which is a main system which is actually helping in conversion of macromolecules which are being consumed via mouth to get converted into micromolecules. From there it is going to get absorbed from the either stomach, small intestine, large intestine to the blood vessels. From there it will be entering into liver, heart, and then to the further organs as such through the form of cardiovascular system. In this way, the respiratory system is functioning in such a way that it carries the oxygen from the exterior to the human body and metabolites to happen to move from the inside the body to the exterior. In this way, this will be helpful in the maintenance of health. Likewise, these 11 or 10 or 11 different systems, they will function in such a way that the maintenance of health can be attained. So when coming to the mental health, so this is actually mainly dealing with MTFARD formula. What do you mean by MTFARD formula? That means M refers to mindset, T refers to thought, F refers to feeling, then A refers to action, R refers to result, and D refers to destiny. So when you think about it, all these are functioning properly, then that is actually deciding the trait of a person. So when you think about, now we will be looking these six different terms in brief. When you think about M, that is nothing but mindset. So most of us are having the scarcity mindset. So when you think about 100 people, when you meet 100 people, among these 1 or 2 or maximum 4 people may have abundance mindset. Rest of this 95% more, 95% of people, they may have scarcity mindset. So this is actually scarcity mindset in the sense the person may not have the bigger achievement, may not be possible, whereas abundance mindset may have the, what do you say, that the bigger vision may be present. So when you think about in terms of the further sub-classification, there are 2 types of mind are being also being mentioned. They are conscious and subconscious mind. Conscious mind is considered to be only 10% powerful, whereas subconscious mind is considered to be 90% powerful, wherein this control over subconscious mind can be done by consistent, persistent action, or consistent or the burning desire. If a person is having the, what is it, definiteness of purpose, so if all these are aligning, if the person's value system is, as well as the person's belief, and if the person's thought process, if the person is having that particular burning desires, then the right mindset that will be leading to the person to have control over subconscious mind. In that particular situation, the thought processes will be aligning with the vision of a person. Whenever if you think about the thought, whenever if a person is thinking about thought, they may have 64 per thousand thoughts that may happen in 24 hours. So 24,000, 64,000 thoughts. Among these, 90% of thoughts are repeated thoughts. Only 10% of thoughts are considered to be newly occurring thoughts. So that means, so if you work on this 90% of thought processes, definitely a newer mindset that can be developed. And regarding the feeling, that means depending upon that particular thought processes, basically either positive thought or positive feeling or negative feeling may occur. When you think about it, so we have to concentrate upon the positive feelings, thereby the right action steps can be taken which may be resulting in the desired result, and thereby your destiny can be created. That means you can have a life of a design rather than a life of a duty. So this, if this is functioning properly, then a person may have the mental peace. That means mental stress may not be present. That is why when you consider the people of Okinawa, a place in Japan, most of the people are considered to be having the longer life because they are working on their passion. That is the main idea in discussing about the mental health. Then coming to the social health, whereas the when you concentrate upon the physical as well as mental health, so they are basically concentrating upon the personal aspect, whereas this one social aspect is mainly dealing with the public hygiene. That means, so we have to live in a society in such a way that the proper what is do's and don'ts that can be followed by the community people who are in your surrounding environment. So, and fourth one, that is the spiritual aspect, that is the spiritual health. That means you have to have a bigger vision. So whenever if you look into that, when you think about the smallest aspect in community is the family, then community comes, then village comes, then the taluk level comes, then the district level comes, then state level comes, then national level comes, then global level comes. So that means you need to have a bigger vision. That means you need to have a one particular the thought process, that is the 5 words you have to always follow. That means, how can I help you? How can I help you? These are the 5 words, so which will help ones to go or to have a spiritual health. So that means if an individual is working on all these 4 aspects, physical, mental, social and spiritual, then the optimum health can be attained for longer time. Then now coming to the concept of what you say, that the different terminologies or linking the different informations. So before going to that, we need to know about the concept of digestion in brief. When you think about concept of digestion, so this is having the, these are the human, that is the representation of the human being. Extreme left, it is being considered to be having the 5 different compartments, that is mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. Whereas the right words, that is intravascular compartment, interstitial compartment and intracellular compartment. As such, these are the compartments that can be observed there. When you think about the alimentary canal or the digestive system, which is being divided into 5 different organs in terms of gut transit time. So in the mouth, which may be the food may remain for a period of 2 or 3 minutes depending upon one's mastication or the chewing, etc. From there, after swallowing, the food may enter into the esophagus. Within seconds, that may move into the stomach. In the stomach, as soon as the food enters into the stomach, the pyloric antrum, that will be closed for a period of almost 2 hours. After the 2 hours. That means why this is happening? Because the food that is being consumed, they are usually in the macromolecular form. So from that it has to be converted into either intermediate molecular form or micromolecular form. So in the stomach, this may be intermediate molecular form that can be present because of the partial digestion of the food by the gastric juice. From the aftermath of 2 hours later, the food starts entering into the small intestine. In the small intestine, the food may remain for a period of almost 6 hours. Then the food will entering into the large intestine, wherein the food may remain for a period of almost 24 to 48 hours. Then this absorption starts to happen. When the absorption starts to occur, these macromolecules, which will be already after converted into micromolecules, these are entering into the bloodstream. From there it will be entering into the liver, from there to the heart, from there to the different parts of the body. This is what is considered to be intravascular compartment. That means from the capillaries of the alimentary canal till the capillaries of the cardiovascular system, that is intravascular compartment. The area or the extension of intravascular compartment will be there. From the intravascular compartment, the nutrients that will be moving into the interstitial compartment, which is composed of multiple cells. From the interstitial compartment, these nutrients that will be moving into the cell, which is considered to be intracellular compartment. So when you think about this, is about the movement of the food substances after the conversion from macromolecules into the micromolecules. From there it will be, and similarly the pathogens will also move in the same fashion. That means whenever there is the pathogens are entering from this mouth, which will be entering into the stomach, which may lead to the inflammation of the stomach, which may lead to the inflammation of the small intestine, which may lead to the inflammation of the large intestine. From there the pathogens and its related proteins that may enter into the intravascular compartment. From there it will be entering into the lymphatics. From there it will be entering into the heart, that is from the thoracic duct, superior vena cava, then heart, then into the bloodstream. That means from the capillaries of the stomach and small and large intestine, from there it will be entering into the blood vessels till the capillaries. This is what is considered to be intravascular compartment in terms of pathogens movement is concerned. From there the pathogens will be entering into the interstitial compartment. From there it will be entering into the intracellular compartment. Now we are going to bridge the concepts here. So here it is in Ayurveda it is being said that the movement of the dosha from the alimentary canal to the either to the intravascular compartment or to the interstitial compartment or to the intracellular compartment, that is nothing but concept of dhatupaka comes there. So that means the concept of pathogenesis. So that means in the reverse order, that means if the pathogens are moving from the intracellular compartment to the interstitial compartment, or from there to the intravascular compartment, or from there to the either stomach or small intestine or intestine, that is nothing but the concept of doshapaka. That means dhatupaka is always harmful to the body and doshapaka is beneficial to the body. Further, second concept, that is the movement of the dosha or the abnormal vitiated dosha or bioenergies from the alimentary canal either to the intravascular compartment or to the interstitial compartment or to the intracellular compartment, that is considered to be doshanam koshtat shakha bigamanam. So here the alimentary canal, that is considered as koshtha, whereas the other aspect, that is considered as shakha. Whereas the movement of the dosha from the either from the intracellular compartment to the interstitial compartment or to the intravascular compartment or to the alimentary canal, that is considered to be doshana shakhat koshtabhigamana. when you think about the concept of dosha gati also, we can able to apply these same principles. So, depending upon the movement of the dosha from the or vitiated bioenergies, either vata, pitta, or kapha, that may move from the either from the stomach or from small intestine or large intestine, that can move through intravascular compartment to different parts. There may be a possibility of movement of these abnormal vitiated dosha either through the upper route, which can be considered as the urdhvagati, or there may be a possibility of movement of the dosha from the stomach to the lower root, that can be considered as the adhogati, and movement of these dosha to the uh, intravascular compartment, that can be categorized under Tiryak Gati. So like that, for each and every concept we can able to or the mix or the intermingle these different concepts into a single concept as such. Further, when you think about the concept of Nija and Agantuja Vyadhi in terms of orifices, when you think about it, the human body is composed of 9 orifices in case of males and 12 orifices in case of females. Mouth, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, and anus and urethra in case of males, and in case of females, all above said plus 1 vagina and 2 breasts. So that means whenever the entry of pathogen is happening through the oral cavity or through the mouth, there may be a possibility of abnormal functioning of the Agni. So that means there is every possibility of formation of ama because of the abnormal, what you say, that the entry of the pathogens through the oral cavity. Whereas the entry of pathogens other than through the natural orifices, other than mouth, maybe through the nostrils, or maybe through the eyes, or maybe through the ears, or maybe through the urethra or anus, or vagina or breast, there may be a possibility of the affliction of those orifices first. So that means there will be the appearance of the symptoms first, then after a matter of 7 days later, there may be a possibility of a dosha vitiation. This is what is considered to be the concept of Nija and Agantuja Vikara. Further, when you think about the concept of pathogens, that can happen into the different body structures. Why these dosha that will be moving from that particular to the upper limb only, why that move to the lower limb only, that actually depends upon the nature of exposure of etiological factor. Suppose if the person is doing more amount of the writing more than normal, or if the person is doing the exercises in relation to hand, or in cases of the cooking, the person who is having the profession of cook, in that particular situation the hand movement that will be more. In that particular situation, whatever may be the situation, in that particular situation, the pathogens that are present in the alimentary canal, that can move into the intravascular compartment of the upper limb. From there it will be moving into the interstitial space, from there it will move into the intracellular space of the upper limb. Whereas the because of the continuous exposure to the etiological factors, such as walking for kilometers, or running like a marathon running, or jumping, etc., in that particular situation, more and more blood supply will be happening towards the lower limb. In the same way, the pathogens that are present in the alimentary canal, that may move into the lower limbs. When you speak the etiological factors related to the exercise related to abdomen, maybe yoga exercise related to abdomen. So the pathogens which are present in either in the stomach or small intestine or large intestine, that may move into the trunk. From there it will be moving into the interstitial space of the trunk. From there it will be moving into the intracellular space of the trunk, both in either in the thorax or abdomen. Whenever there is the person is doing more amount of thinking activity or playing chess, etc., the pathogens which are present in the stomach or small or large intestine that may move into the intravascular compartment of the head, or that may move in even in the interstitial space of the head, or later intracellular space of the head, right? So in total, the take home message from today's discussion, that is, everything is relatable with PCB, with Ayurveda fundamentals, and health is a multidisciplinary concept which is viewed by multiple health ecosystems. So out of that, Ayurveda is one such ecosystem, and one has to get the mastery over the concept of Agni as far as learning physiology, or learning altered physiology, or learning restoring the altered physiology are concerned. We can we can practice the connecting dots or read between the lines to have a deepest understanding of learning of concepts of Ayurveda. That's all for today. If you are really liking this particular video, then what are the key takeaways from today's discussion? Mention below. If you are liking this particular video, then put the thumbs up and the share to the maximum number of people, of true Ayurveda learners. That's all for today. Thank you.